Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. This is UCMMA FM and it's Sunday once again, so it's Let Me Tell You Sundays. I am your host, Julian Morrow, and there's no Barbara Ali yet. He is on his way, God willing, but I'm very happy that we've got Earl Brown in the studio once again, back by popular demand. And already the phones are going. Who's on line one? We're talking Black History Month, by the way. October is not just the month where you try to stop smoking and stop drinking and go sober for October, or Stoptober, whatever you want to call it. For some reason, in the UK, October is Black History Month. And I understand in America it's February. We haven't really mentioned it yet. We've got someone who is on the... Walaikum salam. Are we through to Spencer?
How you doing, brother?
Very well. Spencer, welcome to the show. You're through to myself, Julian. I've got Earl Brown in the studio, a friend Spencer. Of the show.
You got who?
Earl Brown.
Who, the MMA guy, right?
That's the one.
What are you saying, Mr. Brown? How you doing, my brother?
Spencer, good evening, sir. How are you?
I'm very good, man. I'm very good. I'm just about to eat my dinner.
Wow.
But, you know, because they said, like, they didn't tell me a proper time. But I thought, oh, it's cool. No big thing.
9 p.m. or thereabouts.
Yeah. You know what I mean? I'm telling you, you're Asian, right, brother?
No, I'm actually white Irish. That's how I describe myself.
You know that the Irish people and the black people of Europe, so you're running on black man time now.
That's absolutely right. But,
you're taking liberties.
We will come back to that. That's actually something very interesting to explore. But Spencer, welcome to the show. Thank you so much for joining us for another Let Me Tell You Sunday. October is and was Black History Month in the UK. Now, the fact that we have a Black History Month kind of gives you the clue as to there must be something not right there. But why do we need a Black History Month? Do we need one?
Are you asking me that question?
Yeah. Why should we have a Black History Month when we don't have a White History Month? Or what is the wisdom in all of this?
There is no wisdom in it. I'm actually against Black History Month.
I'm glad we got Spencer on for the show. Okay, why is that? I've watched Morgan Freeman's video recently explaining why he's against it, and I could. Well,
I'm kind of on the same line as Morgan Freeman.
Yeah.
But you see, what exponentially what Morgan Freeman is dealing with. Morgan Freeman, the acclaimed actor, is dealing with. Unfortunately, the rest of the world don't think like Morgan Freeman, but I understand where he's coming from, because if we're dealing with racism or from where racism has come from, when we're dealing with that, then we know like racism itself in today's society does not exist in higher intelligence. If you've got higher intellectual values, racism is not a part. I'm telling you this now, and I'm saying this as a black person who's born in this country of Jamaican descent, African, but it doesn't exist when you're dealing with intellectual value. Intellectual value, racism does not exist. And when you're dealing with spiritual value, it certainly does not exist.
So no intelligent person would be racist?
No, because you're not. Yeah, I'm telling you that now. You cannot be soundly intelligent and be racist.
Earl Brown,
it does not make any sense whatsoever.
I'm lost for words. Spencer, I'm lost for words, mate. Seriously. I get what you're saying. I've never seen it from or heard of it coming from that dimension. So I kind of agree with him, really. I mean,
all right. Well, Dr. David Duke of the Ku Klux Klan has achieved a PhD.
That's not intelligence, though. That's not intelligence.
What is it then?
You wait.
Academia. And I'm not saying. By the way, I'm not saying he's racist.
You achieving a PhD doesn't mean you're intelligent.
Well,
if
it did, I'd have one.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't mean that you can sit down, read a certain amount of books and retain information. That does not make you intelligent.
What does make one intelligent, Spencer? You strike me as an intelligent man, but intelligence is Difficult to define, but easy to recognise. But let's try and define
Right
it.
then.
What do
So
you
you'd have
mean
to
when
go
you say
to the facts of intelligence is to be able to retain intellectual value and yet make it work for you. Now, it's no good you saying anyone can sit down and read books, but can you actually make that work? How many times have you seen people who go to universities or come out and they haven't got no common sense? Right?
Yeah.
Now, let me just break this one down to you. I can break this down like, one of my dear friends and one of my fighters, Larry Kendall, former fighter of mine, would turn around his mother, his late mother would say to him that common sense isn't so common.
It's not, is it?
No, it's not. So I'm saying to you now, I will speak on certain things that are of race issues.
Yeah.
And people say, well, I can't believe how far you've got, but yet you'll tackle race issues. Of course I will tackle race issues, because I'm not turning around like, even though I could say no intelligent person can be racist, but yet, as it says in the Holy Quran, that Allah only made you different for one reason, for you to know one another.
Yeah.
Now, regardless of what religion that you're breaking down, when you deal with a group of people who are deeply religious, as they are deep religious, the color bars are non-existent. You go to any church where you get devout Christians, and you can see a black man get married to a white woman. There's no drama in it, but they wouldn't suggest or have the opinion to that anybody else who is not of their religion and who are
we got a caller.
They wouldn't be into this. Hello.
1 second, Spencer. Sorry, I think we've got a caller online too. You're through to One Ummah. Who's this?
Oh, sorry, it's Sophronia. Hi.
Sophronia, excellent. Well, welcome to the show. Sophronia, I was put in touch with you by a good friend who described you as Afrocentric. Is that a fair description?
Yeah, I'm trying to be.
Okay, you're trying to be. Well, you're through to Spencer Fearon. We've got Earl Brown in the studio. I'm feeling very outnumbered here. I'm not very Afrocentric.
Why do you feel outnumbered?
Well, I'm not very African. You'd have to go back a long way.
Is that wait. You see? Talking nonsense like that is why racism is still apparent. You should not feel outnumbered.
No, Spencer, tongue-in-cheek, anyone who knows me will know I'm very used to this
I don't care about that. Don't make them jokes, all right?
Well,
you're winding me up.
Well, forgive me. I did want a controversial...
Just jokes, brother.
We can all joke together. But, Safrina...
Yeah, you know about a joke? I'll come down to that studio and bust your head. How about that one?
We'll have to have you. At least it would be a clearer line. Safrina, you're through to Spencer. We're talking Black History Month. Spencer is against it. What is your take on the patronising month that is Black History Month?
I think that for the time being, in the current society, we need a Black History Month.
We do? Good.
Yeah.
Well, tell Spencer why. And Spencer, you feel free to come back. It's over to you guys.
I will do, don't worry.
Why do we need it, Safrina?
Well, I think that we need some time set aside to talk about... Yeah, a month. Well, in the long term, I'm actually against it. But for the time being, I'm for it because we need to...
I feel you here, sister. Please forgive me. I'm actually eating while I'm talking, but don't worry about that, all right?
You go.
I hear what you're saying, totally. And I'm on the same lines as you. Yeah, we do kind of need it but we, like, to the bigger picture, we don't need it. To the bigger picture, if we were to sit down and speak about Black history, how far are we going to go back to Black history? And don't just go back to, the Egyptians. No.
I'm against I think it's glory hunting, how people only talk about the Egyptians.
Yeah, of course it is.
Yeah.
I mean, the earliest to archaeological facts of life and existence, of human life, you have to go back 160,000 years ago. Where we started, that was just outside of Ethiopia. So when we go to the deepness of it, or to the root of how these things are, people don't even know that. We don't even know. It's amazing now how for some strange reason, like Egypt has been taken out of Africa. Not knowing, archaeological findings recently where they found one of the queens that were mummified. She's dating back like 6,000 years ago, and she had Negro hair. So that's just telling you that the Egyptians were in fact black, or the Kenites means that dark as burnt charcoal. So when we know our history, or when we're looking at our history as black people, that's not like right.
Isn't this the issue here, that when we talk about who is black, the ancient Egyptians, if they were black, as you say, they didn't know they were black until they met a white man, and the white man didn't know he was white until he met a black man, and these were terms that were coined much later. The ancient Egyptians, whatever they looked like, they were Egyptian, and race means different things in different countries, and being a black man in Egypt maybe it means something slightly different to being a black man in London in 2014.
100%, because what's happened now is this.
Yeah.
Are we in the term of Black History Month? Are we really trying to teach black pride? What are we trying to teach here? I just want to know. And the next thing is this: in this country, Black History Month is in the same month as Halloween. What? Are we that scary? I'm going to jump out and frighten people? Come on, man. No, word is one. What are the messages? What are the messages that are being sent here?
Safrina, what say you?
I think in the UK, Black history isn't that established. So
in America, it's in February, which is the same as Valentine's Day. So you know.
Yeah. Personally, I don't tend to follow Black history in the UK. I tend to follow the American one because of my background. But
what is your background, if you don't mind me asking?
My background is Liberian.
Liberian. That's a very interesting country. Do you know the principle upon which Liberia was founded?
I have no idea.
Apparently,
I'll be honest.
Safrina, you're going to correct me, but isn't Liberia the idea of liberated slaves being sent back to Africa?
Yeah.
Is that in your heritage then?
Yeah.
Wow. Can you just explain to people that don't know?
Well, basically, Liberia was created for
write it down, brother.
For some say for benevolent reasons.
Okay.
But also for some malicious reasons. They thought that blacks and whites couldn't coexist in America. So some people were sent against their will, and some people went out of their choice.
Wow.
And basically, when they went there, their goal was to Christianize and Europeanize the natives that lived there. But they had the slave mentality because so they couldn't assimilate with the native Africans, so they ended up oppressing them for about 130 years.
Wow, so these so-called slaves that were returning to Africa actually dominated the society.
They took the same ideals as their slave master, the oppressors of the Americans, and this comes from...
I think there's another caller for it. We've got another caller on the line.
Hey.
Who's that?
It's Marshall.
Marshall.
Yes.
Speak up, fella. You're through to Spencer.
Yeah.
Earl Brown's here. We've got Safrina on the line, who is a Liberian.
Hi, Marshall. How you doing?
You know Earl.
Yeah, I know Earl.
Marshall, welcome to the show, fella. Thank you so much for getting involved.
No worries, man.
Are you black or African or both? What's the deal?
Well, I'm African, but I guess if you're trying to talk about skin colour, and I guess the world calls it black, so I'm black.
Yeah. 1 second, Safrina, we can get you back on in a bit, but we're going to have to let you go for now while we talk to Marshall. Keep listening. Thank you for your comments. We will go back to you in due course.
Okay.
Just for the sake of the lines.
Okay, bye.
Thank you, Safrina. Sorry, Marshall, your level was a bit low there, but...
Well, can you hear me now, yeah? Clear.
Can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Whack him right up, yes. Okay, cool. So look, you're a British black guy, but I know you well personally, so I know you're of Nigerian descent.
Yeah.
But what comes first to you?
Because I've been brought up in England, it's like I feel more British than African, if I'm honest.
Really?
But like my family really too cultural because my dad wanted us to be educated here first, and then like honestly, I don't even have to speak the language or
no wahala. There you go.
No, thank you for giving me. I know what Hallam means no trouble.
I think
no, like
yeah.
If I'm wrong, then
I can just about
correct me.
No, well, I wouldn't know. Okay, so for you, your identity is British primarily. So does Black History Month mean anything to you? Do you affiliate with it? Do you find it patronising, like Morgan Freeman, or?
I know Morgan Freeman. He's a critic about it. He doesn't want to relate with it because he thinks Black history is American history or something like that, and he also thinks that there's no White History Month. So he doesn't want white people don't sort of want history relegated to just 1 month or something like that. But me personally, I don't really observe it, but I can understand about the annual observance of the United States and the UK sort of remembrance of Black people, what they've done throughout history, which is okay, fair enough. But anything else, I haven't really looked deep into it, so I can understand like a lot of things happened in the past with Black people, slavery and racism. So to recognise, give people honour and dignity.
Yeah, I respect that, but I think it's. You're right.
What's happening there?
No, what is that?
Is there MMA going on?
Yeah, there's some. Where's that coming from?
A grappling match, yeah?
I'm grappling Earl Brown.
You want to come down to the studio, bro.
He's called me in the triangle. I don't know what that was. You asked him playing some sound effect. But no, Marshall, what I think it is, as you alluded to, this is an American thing.
Yeah.
The Black people that got taken to America, all they were left with was the fact they were Black. You had Irish Americans, Italian Americans, German Americans, and the Black people lived there, and they were marginalised, and they didn't have anything. The Black people in the UK were either of a Caribbean background or of an African background, and I think that gives you a stronger identity. Well, what say you, Earl Brown? The white boy doesn't know what he's talking about. Probably, I'm guessing. I'm trying to put myself in someone else's shoes.
But that it was celebrated obviously in United Kingdom because of that Ghanaian analyst or something. I can't remember his name. Akib.
Yes, you're right. That's correct.
So I think it was because of that's when it was established in UK. But I don't know anything else. Like I think I guess UK kind of recognises those American pioneers. Carter G. Woodson or whatever.
Well,
so
I'm gonna throw this out there.
Cool.
Marshall of a Nigerian background.
Yeah.
Earl Brown of a Jamaican background, right?
Yeah.
When you guys meet each other, do you have an affinity of having had the Black experience, or are you from, as is geographically the case, from separate continents, and his culture means nothing to you, and your culture means nothing to him?
See, when I see someone like Marshall, I can identify with him straight away.
You can, because of the experience in this country, right?
No, because I can relate to him.
Okay.
I know that whatever I've been through, he's probably been through it as well.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not talking about sexual experiences, but
you said it.
But yeah, anything I've been through, he's been through, and that's how I kind of relate to him and others that look and even sound like me as well. So,
Marshall, do you find that?
Yeah, I think the only thing that separates us historically would be culture and tradition.
Yeah, of course.
And that, but apart with UK, sort of like there's this new culture that emerges all cultures together. It's a British culture which we can understand each other, but I kind of like I like it. I like the UK culture, the urban culture, if you want to call it that, where.
So there's never rivalry in London between Africans and Caribbeans?
In the past there has been because of misunderstanding, but nowadays it's the line's getting thinner and people are beginning to tolerate each other. Because I think that West Indians, they used to have problems with the way the culture of Nigerians. They didn't understand it. They used to think it was loud or whatever. But now we're understanding that those things don't really matter. It's because we're the first generation of Africans that came to this country, they came later than the West Indians. So obviously, people are not understanding a new culture that's come in. So now we're all understanding each other. That line is getting thinner. People are beginning to be more tolerant of each other, and so I think like it's the urban culture is the way forward. The UK culture is the way forward.
Yeah. A common identity of being Black British or just British, or whatever that means in the modern British sense. Not in the way that Britain first to look at it, or the BNP, but
exactly
as Spencer would say, an open-minded, intelligent person would say.
Yeah.
Marshall, thank you so much for coming, for getting through to us.
Thank you, Marshall.
Well, I heard some comments about intelligence.
Yeah. Is there anything you'd like to say about that?
Well, I think like obviously without intelligence in the mind, you wouldn't be able to have any conversations or any observations in science or whatever it is, or anything that we hold as value, we would not be able to have because of this intelligence that was put in the mind. So if you take away the brain, you have no intelligence. So who put the brain there? And who put intelligence in the mind?
Well, that's another story.
Yeah,
but
I just want to throw that in there.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah. Thank you very much, Mark.
No worries, man. Hello.
Reminds me of a poster with the brains, African brain, European brain, a racist brain is the small one. Yeah, remember that. Yeah, Marshall, you'll probably see myself and Earl tomorrow, and maybe even the producer, Yasser Ali.
Is he coming down?
Yeah, he's coming down. He wants to have a go.
Careful, he's very aggressive. Pleasure, Marshall. Thank you very much indeed.
No worries, man.
All right, cheers, Marshall.
Really appreciate that.
Safe off.
That was Marshall there, talking intelligence, a lot of intelligence. Talking of intelligence, Barbara Ali has shown up. So I couldn't get that out without
You're putting
laughing.
intelligent and my name in the same sentence here?
Welcome, Barbara. We're talking Black History Month. We've got arguments for and against it.
I was listening on the way up.
Oh, you're a fan
of Black History?
Let me tell you.
I'm a big fan of the show. Yeah. Is Spencer there?
Spencer, are you here?
Yeah, I'm still here, man.
Good,
I'm still here. The phone cut out a second.
Sorry, but
Zab Judah's little brother just phoned me and just cut the phone off, and then you guys just rang me back. So, nice one for that. I haven't had to work this thing. I just downloaded Skype just a minute ago.
I remember him well.
Spencer, thanks for coming on the show.
No, man. Thanks for having me, man.
We've been trying to get you on for a long time. We know you're a busy man. How's the boxing show going on? Podcast and everything.
The podcast is going brilliantly. Ringside Toe to Toe is the largest listened to boxing podcast in the world, even bigger than HBO. So it's like I'm amazed by that. It's been like 2 years now. I've been there 2 years. Still doing the boxing promotions as well, and I do motivational speaking up and down the country, and I'm head of sport now for Disciple Media, which is going incredible. So it's like, man, it's everything's going good, man.
You had a big signing recently. I said you had a big signing recently. You had Moin. Is it Moin?
Moeddin Ali. Yes, the England cricketer. We've just signed him up to our company. We're just finishing off doing a deal with Mike Tyson. It's going fabulously well. We'll be signing up a couple golfers who are very, very big, but at this moment I'm not at liberty to say who they are. But Chubby Chandler, the golfing manager and agent, the second biggest in the world. It's IMG is the biggest, and he's the second biggest in the world. And this is a one man. So we're signing a couple guys in 2 weeks from his company. So we're going up north to go and see him. And it's right now I'm just so gratefully blessed about everything that's going on.
Yes, alhamdulillah. That's really good. It's really good to hear. For many of us out there, tell us what Disciple Media is.
Well, Disciple Sports. What we do is a lifestyle application for celebrities. So we've just cornered the market. We've got the biggest and the best technology. It was founded by a guy called Benjamin Vaughan, who was in the music game, and the music industry at this present moment is dead. If you're an artist, you ain't making records. Those days are finished. For every one record sold right now or bought,
100,000 illegally downloaded. So if you're an artist right now, you have to be on tour. For you to generate. This is what you got to do. So what we've designed. Well, not we. I didn't design it. I just sell it and get paid well from it. What we've designed is an application from your phone. Makes sure it turns your phone into a TV channel. So you get to live stream with your fan base and everything else, and it's going really well. And I've just count my blessings for being where I am. We're down on Mortimer Street, which is just off Oxford Street, and it is fabulous because I've got real big people around me on a day-to-day basis who have excelled in that kind of market. We've got the former head of Napster inside the office who we sit on the same desk. A guy called Julian Pittham, who's one of my closest friends. But Julian Pittham invests in big companies.
Hello.
Sorry,
The phone's going a bit funny, yeah?
Yeah, sorry about that.
We had a caller.
If you're calling,
We
please
had a caller.
call again. We'll call.
All right.
We'll put you straight through.
Okay.
So we had a
Right.
call
So yeah.
earlier.
So it's going really cool where I'm at. So I just like I said, alhamdulillah, I just count my blessings each day. And when you're blessed, you're not just blessed in one area. When you're blessed, you're just blessed. That means you can go do anything. Because your real blessing is the fact that you're born. And I realize that now, and I'm just going out and I'm grabbing it with both hands.
Yeah, we see that, mashallah.
Whoever that was
May
calling-
you continue.
Yeah, thank you very much.
The number for anyone else, 01189 660 382. You'll get straight through to the studio. And
The phone's going off again, yes,
I've done
Spencer.
that now. You are live on One Ummah. Who's this? Welcome to the show.
Hello,
Hello, welcome to Let Me Tell You Sundays. Who's this?
my name is Sam.
Sam, welcome to the show. You're through to Spencer. We've got Earl Brown here. We're talking Black History Month. Your views, please.
Well, my view is that Black History Month is patronizing and actually racist.
Okay.
And I'm actually thinking to myself, why isn't there a White History Month?
Well, the argument would be that every other month is White History Month.
Well, why is that?
Because the white culture is the dominant culture in all our media, in the people that run our countries, and the white people are in a
Exactly.
privileged position.
There's a good reason why.
Would you like to tell me that reason, Sam?
Well, the reason is because we are the pure race.
Oh, right.
And there's a reason why we have taken over other countries
Which we
and assimilated ourselves.
Are you a white man?
Yes,
Right.
I'm 100% pure.
Now, how do you know that?
It's in my blood. I know it.
Spencer,
I know it to be true. I believe it to be true.
This guy thinks
It's
he's 100.
undeniable.
Right. And that... Spencer, over to you.
Oh, man. So please explain to me why you're the superior race, because you weren't the first race on the planet. You do realize that, right?
That is complete propaganda. I don't
You
believe
are
that.
not the first race on the planet.
Yes,
we are.
Wait.
Wait, my friend. Where did the first civilization come from?
Where did the first civilization come from?
Texas.
First civilization. Of the Homo sapien. Where did they come from? And Homo sapien, my friend,
Texas,
We
right?
means
were
the smart
created
human.
by
Where
God.
did the first smart human come from?
We're created by God
No, but where did they come from? Where did
From
God
Eden.
create them?
in Eden.
In Eden.
Yes.
Where is Eden?
Eden is a place that God created.
Okay then. All right then. Well, this is what I got to say to you, brother. Until you can go deal with, we have to deal with facts.
Wait. Let me get this straight. We are not brothers.
In
We
Eden,
are not
where's
brothers.
Eden? You don't know. Where is it?
Where is it?
Yeah, where's Eden? Come on.
Geographically, where is it in the world?
Let's have a conversation, not an argument, please.
I'm not arguing.
Not you. Talk to the other guy.
All right, cool.
Is it Sam? Is it?
Am I being argumentative?
No, just don't talk over each other. Just don't talk over each
seriously,
other.
brother.
I can have a civil
Where
conversation.
did
I can have a civil
civilization
conversation.
first start from? Civilization first started, the oldest civilization, we're going by archaeological facts, which I spoke, came outside of Ethiopia 160,000 years ago. Ethiopia. People from Ethiopia do not look like you, pure white people. They don't look like you, brother. To this day, they still don't look like you.
That's a fair point.
Okay then. They were black,
1-0,
my friend.
1-0.
That's what they were. They were the first man who walked around, or the Homo sapien, that stands for the smart human who walked around on two legs,
right, was a black man.
Look, I just believe that.
Yeah, but your belief,
we would have been better off.
You have to come with facts. It's quite easy. You believe in your belief so much that becomes reality. I ain't arguing. That's your reality. But you have to come with facts. Your facts. I don't know. What are your facts? Tell me your facts.
We would have been better off if we would have just left that country alone.
What country alone?
Africa.
If you left Africa alone, but everyone comes from Africa. It's a scientific fact. So obviously, if you left it alone, you could leave it alone. But then, if you left it alone, you wouldn't be in existence. You come from the loins of an African. That's where you come from. The original man was African. These are not my words. These are the words of white scientists. The pure race, as you call it.
Are you serious?
I'm telling you. So you got Negro blood somewhere down in your lines. You know what I mean? I guarantee go to any genealogist.
I don't think I could live with myself.
They could take a swab from your saliva, and they can tell you historically where you come from. Go and do it. It's an amazing thing. I've had it done. Go do it. Go check out where you're from.
Where would you suggest I do that?
Where I go Google it. Go find out. What part of America are you from, sir?
I'm from Texas in the South.
All right, from Texas in the South. Well, go Google it. There must be somewhere a genealogical center in your area where you can get your historical facts from. They take a swab from you, and they from there they can determine from your DNA, and then from your DNA strandings, that you can find out like where your heritage is from and everything else. Because what you have to know is this. Listen, 1 second. You're a Christian, right, brother?
Yes, brother.
Right, you're a Christian. So therefore, you being a Christian, I say this to you. Now, Adam was created from dust. We're going Bible. We have to talk Bible now. Because, you know what I mean? I grew up in the church. So I know Bible. Even though I'm a Muslim now, but I grew up in the church. Now, Adam
brother, you betrayed the church.
Pardon me?
As far as I'm concerned, you betrayed the church.
I betrayed the church. Okay, cool. All right, no problem. That's brilliant. All right, high five. That's great. Anyway, moving on. Now, the Earth's DNA, this is scientific fact, is 7.83. Now, you believe, because you're a Christian, that you come from Adam, yeah? Who in Adam, if he came from the Earth, what color is the Earth, brother?
The Earth is all kinds of colors.
No. What color is the Earth? Let's be real now, come on.
What color is the Earth?
What color is the Earth?
It's brown, like dirt.
It's brown. Okay, then. So it's not your skin tone, right?
Yeah.
It's not your skin tone.
What's the point?
It's not white Earth. It's brown Earth. Most black people are not actually black. They're actually brown. You do realize that, right? You would agree with me there, Mr. Brown, right? Earl Brown, you agree, right? Right. So therefore, I'm telling you this now.
Brown by name.
If you should check the DNA stranding inside human beings, our frequency level is 7.83. This is facts. Now, the DNA level of the Earth's frequency is 7.83. Now, if you was to go and look at the universe, and you must know that the universe is 13.8 billion years old. 13.8. And this is not this scientists telling us this. This is not me saying this. I'm telling you what scientists are telling us. Scientists are telling us this. This is how old the universe is. They're saying that the Earth within itself is 3.4 billion years old. They're saying the Earth is that. Of human life or human existence, we're only going back 160,000 years. So the Earth in frequency of the human being, if we believe in Adam and Eve, I'm not saying that I don't believe in Adam and Eve, I'm saying because you're a Christian, I have to do with you and what you believe in. We are all connected. They came from the Earth. This is a fact that the first man on Earth, because we're saying that he came from Earth, this is what it says, that God created him from mud. We believe as Muslims, or as you as Christians say, he was created from the Earth. The first form of racism was when God said to all the angels and all the living of his existence, or the beings, to bow down to Adam. And what happened? Satan, the devil, said, no, I'm not bowing down to him.
Why? Because I'm made from smokeless fire, and I'm higher than he is, and he's come after me. That was the first form of racism if you're a Christian.
Sam, put that in your pipe and smoke it. But
wow.
Thanks for getting in touch.
I'm speechless. I'm out of here.
Good man.
I'm sorry. I can't listen to this.
Appreciate your call. Thank you very much. There he goes. The first
Don't try to bring Don't try to bring no foolishness to me. I'm not. People call me the knowledge. I don't just know. I ain't got knowledge just on boxing. Even though I'm a vicious historian, everyone knows this.
Fantastic.
Don't try to bring them foolish talk to me. Like I'm saying to you, you know what I mean? God created all of us. If you believe in that, right? But if God created all of us, then know this part here. The things what we argue and fight about, we should be arguing what are the things, or we should not be arguing, but we should be agreeing on the things that we agree on. Instead of looking on the things to argue about. I ain't got time for this nonsense. I can't believe that this guy actually phoned in to talk rubbish. Yes, I'm a Christian, sir, and blah, 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 and all the rest of it. Okay, then cool. If you are a Christian, this guy who just got off the phone, because I know he'll still be listening. If you are a Christian, that means that you are meant to be Christ-like, right? If you're a Christian, you're meant to be Christ-like. And if you're a Christ-like, you're more Judaism than anything else, because Jesus Christ himself was a Jew.
Well, we got another one. Let's see who this is. Welcome to the show.
Hello.
Who's this?
Hello.
Welcome. Who's calling?
I got a message to that hillbilly who just rang up.
You got a message for the hillbilly? Go ahead.
Well, this isn't a gay black chat show, so I know he gets his kicks out of calling and talking to a black American, but I'm just a bit disgusted.
And what's your take on Black History Month, Caller? Who is this, by the way?
I'm really proud to be a black citizen and the black people, and I'm just really happy.
And who are you? Who is this?
My name's Leroy.
Right, Leroy. Well, you're through to.
Where are you calling from, Leroy?
I'm calling from Mississippi.
Okay.
And out here it's really bad.
It's a long distance call, Leroy.
Yeah, I'm gonna get him out of the vehicle and go to Texas, and I'm gonna teach Sam a lesson.
You do that, please.
I'm gonna show him. I'm gonna give him 18 inches of black.
Leroy, possibly a black man, possibly not. Thank you for your call, Leroy.
Thank you very much, guys. Good night.
Good night, Leroy.
Thank you.
Man.
Good night.
Jesus. Listen, yeah.
All hell is broken loose.
I would have liked to know his point, but...
Well, I don't know if he had one.
Listen, man.
Spencer, I've got something for you. We've got a little text in saying that illegal immigration started in 1492. As a historian, 1492, that symbolizes Christopher Columbus, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, from the text, I believe that's what they're trying to get out. They're trying to basically get us to speak more.
You're always telling people what they mean.
I'm telling them what they mean.
I know. Spencer, is that a valid point that, yes, when the Europeans went to America, it wasn't their land to invade?
But it wasn't. Come on, man. Let's go back to Burning Spear, who I mean, I don't know if you know who Burning Spear is, but Burning Spear, by my eyes, man. And Burning Spear, Christopher Columbus is a damn blasted liar. That's the big. I got it on my iPod right now.
I listen to that all the time, Spencer.
I can't hear you. The phone's getting a bit funny.
Yeah, Spencer, can you hear me?
I can hear you now.
Yeah, I listen to Burning Spear all the time, pretty much every day.
That's my man.
Yeah.
All right. So obviously, come on, man. You got to know, like, legislation and laws or whatever being put into place of that time. Come on, man. The world's not the world that we're living in today. So when we go back in history, that's really great. Black history, yeah, it's great. But if you're not making any form of black future, and a black future realistically is a united future with everybody, and this is the truth. But right now, I have to be real, like our white counterpart on the radio right now, white folks have had a 300 to 400 year head start.
Who's calling? Welcome to the show.
Hi, it's Thawab. I'm calling.
Welcome back.
Sorry. Thank you.
Calling long distance. You're through to Spencer.
Okay. Yeah, I'm calling from New York, so not from Texas this
God.
time. I don't know. I wanted to talk about Black History Month. Is that Are you guys still talking about
yeah,
it?
Yeah.
What a coincidence we're doing a show about that. Go ahead.
Well, so I grew up in the States where, Black History Month was part of my school curriculum. Like every single year we made a whole month of it at school. And, at the time I think it was good when I was a child and I was learning about the civil rights movement in America and stuff. And now in hindsight, I saw that it was kind of also a dangerous, the way we were taught it, because it was very, very superficial. Like we learned that, just because Martin Luther King, he held hands with white people, that ended slavery, because, not slavery, racism, and Abraham Lincoln, our white president, he ended slavery because he's a good guy. It was very, very superficial. We never actually talked about such that a lot of white Americans think, racism is over in the States. We have a biracial president now, therefore there's no more racism. But we never use this month to talk about real race issues in the States. For example, in America, we incarcerate a larger percentage of our racial minorities than any other country in the world. We have a larger percentage of our black population in prison than South Africa did at the height of apartheid. 1 in 3 black youth in D.C. are in prison. So I think we still have institutionalized racism in the States. And I don't know how it is in the UK, but Black History Month, we don't actually talk about race, even though that's supposed to be the topic, I guess.
Spencer, what say you? Have you spent any time in America?
Yeah, look, come on, I just came back from America last month? I was out there for the May of a fight.
Of course. Do you think it's dealt with very differently here?
Pardon me?
I think it means a different thing over here, right?
Well,
Because we didn't have a black civil rights movement in the UK.
You know what? Black History Month, in the UK, because we're in England, right? In the UK, I just think it's for awareness of going back about who did what, or the black people that rose to a pinnacle at a certain time when they wasn't meant to rise to a pinnacle. But like I'm saying, until we can really address, people don't see racism in this country, and if you do speak about it, then it's like you've got a chip on your shoulder. So it's like how things are in America, then they're doing the same thing. They're not really addressing the real matters of it. They're talking about black history. Oh yeah, Martin Luther King. Oh yeah, a little bits and bobs and all the rest of it. Du Bois. We go through on the people of historical nature to black folks. But to me, Black History Month should really be opening our eyes to our true history.
True history should surpass anything that happened in Ethiopia. Anything that happened in the Egyptians should surpass that. But also, it's a sense of also black awareness of what we have done throughout history. But in saying that, we can't have Black History Month unless we don't touch on Marcus Garvey, and it seems like Marcus Garvey isn't really touched.
So what you're saying is that it talks about the past when we should be talking about racism now, right?
Exactly, and we shouldn't sugarcoat the past. We never talked about, I guess, Marcus Garvey. We never in the States, we never talked about Malcolm X because he's not, he's not friendly. Or even MLK was sugar-coated, was whitewashed, to make him more appetizing for everybody. But I wanted to... Hello?
Hey, I'm here.
Yeah, just in terms of, the true history, isn't that also kind of... The thing that worries me about that isn't that kind of... If you just replace a Eurocentric history with a Afrocentric history, isn't that kind of responding to racism with racism? Is there no middle ground? Like, I don't think we should just, replace Eurocentrism with Afrocentrism. I think both of them. I don't think history is black and white like that. Yeah.
Well, there's many shades of grey, but I don't think they're trying to replace anything. I just think it's trying to raise an awareness, because if you think about it, right, throughout, what was it? It was 2008. Barack Obama was inaugurated as the president of America, right? Mm-hmm. And you got to think, just that alone it just opened eyes to possibilities of chance that you can go and do things. It's like when you were a kid, we got another guy on who was in the studio. When you was a kid, did you ever think that you could be James Bond? Tell the truth.
No.
You didn't, exactly. You never thought you could be James Bond.
No. Chris Eubank believed it.
Pardon me?
Chris Eubank believed it.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, right. But did you think that?
I definitely
you didn't think, yeah, exactly. You didn't think that, or do you think that you could be Superman, or it's like one of my fighters, Darren Hammond, former British champion. Darren Hammond said when he was a kid, he wanted to be white. He was a black kid. He said he wanted to be white.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because everything that he was getting, every picture of any superhero or anything else, actually were white people. So he said when he was a kid, and there must be loads of kids of that era growing up in the 70s in the UK who wanted to be white. You know what I mean? I can say undeniably that was never my mindset, ever. Do you know what I mean? Because I was very fortunate of how I grew up, because I grew up around white folks in my area, but I had like a kind of dual personality, because on the weekends I'll be in Kenneton, which in Kenneton was like a predominantly white area, and then in the weekdays where I went to school in a predominantly black area. So I kind of had the two mixes. So when I had like white guys who I grew up with as little kids who were like my brothers, and I would leave and go around the brothers who were my brothers. So it's kind of cool.
So in Buffalo, did you ever wish you were a different race?
Never ever. Are you crazy?
Oh, I'll call it from America.
Let me tell you this now, right?
Spencer, one second. I want to bring the caller back in. Thawab calling from Buffalo. Did you ever wish to be a different race or gender, for that matter? I'll throw gender in there. Ever wish you were a guy?
I will say yes to both.
There you go.
As a child, I definitely thought it would be so much nicer if I was, I was taught being pretty was being blonde, having smooth hair, having blue eyes. So I definitely aspired, or I wish that I could look that way. I thought that was something I could just become. And then I think even more so, growing up, I definitely wished I was a boy. I think that's another, after the civil rights movement made a lot of strides, and a lot of, like Harriet Tubman, a lot of black women helped bring freedom to slaves. Then they were told to go back to the kitchen. So I think undercurrent of racism is definitely sexism. Yeah.
Thawab, thank you very much for the call, and
thank you.
Don't give up on that hope. Thank you. That's okay. That's a female from America. I thought I'd throw gender in there with race.
Spencer.
Yes, sir.
Brother, tell us about power struggle or power structure. You've got different races. You've got the white race, black race. You've got now Arabs. You've got all these different races, and they all in some way like to say that we are the dominant. Nowadays.
Arabs are not a race, but anyway.
Well, they like to claim. But they like to claim. They like to say that.
That you can break it down to small, little, tiny kind of thing. That you watch the gangs in New York, right?
Yeah.
Right. Wicked movie, right?
Mm-hmm.
You got to think about it. How it was then, just like we deal in boxing, you got a red corner, a blue corner. The red corner, and blue corner was whether he was Democrat or Republic.
Yeah.
That's where it comes from. So it comes from that time of.
Is that right?
Yeah, that's right.
That's where it comes from. That's why in the red corner, blue corner, just like over here, the Conservatives are the blues, and the reds are the Labour. You know what I mean? So that's the power struggle right there.
Fantastic. I didn't know that. I never.
You didn't know that, did you?
Never knew that.
Learn something new each day. How about that one? Right. So what I realize is this: if I was to refer it back to boxing, red corner, blue corner, you are still in the ring. Just like whether you're right wing or left wing, you are still the same bird. I don't vote. Mm-hmm. Right? Because you're still voting for the same thing, which is a system. I'm not into none of that kind of foolishness. So when you talk about the people trying to roll like they're the dominant force, then no one's not the dominant force. You know what I mean? You break this one down, it's like the dominant force is actually yourself, not collectively in saying, oh, let's build up the white race, or let's build up the black race, or whatever. The dominant force is actually yourself. And as soon as you know your power within yourself, then you can go and accomplish anything you want to go and accomplish. And these are the things that because I want to now see what I'm getting up to right now. I get to jet set, I'm getting around, and most of the associates that I'm with at this present moment in time, when I'm doing business, and that are actually Europeans. You know what I mean? But white Europeans, that is, because I'm right. White Europeans, the people who I'll be going out and rolling with, if I was to go to the mosque, because everyone knows that I'm Muslim, is a diverse bunch of people who have taken on this thing to say that they're Muslims. You know what I mean? But then within my community, I'm not bearing no focus on race or religion or sexuality. I'm just dealing with good people, man, and that's it. People are people, and that's what I'm dealing with. A lot of people can't even get that part, but that's all that I am dealing with. You treat me with love and respect, or you show me respect and courtesy, I'm going to show you the same thing. So I don't care what color you are, or where you're from, or what, you know what I mean? There's too much division inside black folks as it is. So I ain't got time for none of that nonsense. I'm just dealing with good people. I don't care where you're from. Treat me cool, I'm going to treat you back cool. That is it.
So we don't see race. I mean, you're looking at the individual, the person.
I'm the reason why, because the most people that have done things, come on, man. I get paid ridiculously well through somebody who brought me into an environment that for someone who came off a council estate in South London and doing the things that I'm doing, come on, man, I got 3 shows on Sky. You know what I mean? Me, you know, I don't change the way that I speak neither. It's like, ooh, he speaks a little bit ghetto-ish. So, you know what I mean? That's why I say, well, alhamdulillah, thank God.
I noticed that actually. I noticed that. I mean, even when you're on TV, I've noticed that even when you're on TV or you're doing a podcast, you talk exactly the same, always.
Why should I change the way that I speak?
Now,
surely. Now, wait. This is what I'm saying. If I have to, I still speak with knowledge. Mm-hmm. You know, but I'm not going to change. I'm proud of my heritage.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I can't change the way that I speak to satisfy someone else's insecurity. It's your own insecurities. That's your own things that you go deal with. Because right now, if people don't get this thing, it's like, what is the hip selling factor in the world today? The hip selling factor in the world today is black. It just sells now. You know what I mean? Because it's acceptable now. Because being black now is the enemy now.
Right.
The enemy now is if you're Muslim. And the reason why people are holding fast to they're Muslims is because we don't know one another. Get to know a couple people, and then your whole concept or stereotype that you have, it gets eradicated once you get to know people.
We've got a text in. This probably relates to what you just said, being black sells now. The text is anonymous, and it basically says, ask Spencer what he thinks about Beyonce and the image she portrays to black women.
You know what? Me saying like what Beyonce is doing, am I the image that she portrays to black women? Come on, man. Number one is this. Oh, does anybody complain? Does anybody really got complaining when Madonna was walking around half nude and doing? It's an industry. They're in that industry.
Women, man, Madonna is embarrassing
right?
to white women.
When Madonna was running up and down with her little naked self and them potted boobs and all the rest of it. You understand what I'm trying to say to you? I'm trying to say it's an industry. They have to do whatever they're doing. That's their industry, and that's where they're saying, well, this is what I'm going to go do for their industry. But what I do know is this, is that the woman, forget about black or white, but the woman, the female, is actually the most closest thing that we'll ever get to knowing a higher being or power that is a God on this earth. Facts. The female creates from darkness of the womb when she is pregnant with life. Now, if we're Muslim, Christian, whatever, even if you're a Darwinite who believes in a Big Bang Theory, everything came from darkness. So life came from darkness. When the woman produces child and pushes out, she does exactly the same thing. She creates from darkness. Now that's the correlation between the woman and a supreme being or a god. Because in the earliest form of religions, which was Draconianism, the female was God. And she got dehumanized somewhere down the lines. So everything now is like the woman has been dehumanized. The woman is actually God-like because she creates from darkness. So you have to appreciate the female for who they are. Now, obviously, the powers that be will promote those kind of foolishness of women walking around half nude, of women walking around more naked than animals. They'll promote this thing. Now, am I saying it's a good thing or it's a bad thing? Then I'm going to say that I'm impartial to it, but I know my daughter won't be behaving like that. And certainly not my wife. So therefore, that's what they have to do to sell what they're doing. They're selling a product. And unfortunately, the world has been so contaminated. And it's not just, the image that she's portraying to the black woman. I don't see Beyonce championing black issues, per se. So therefore, I'm impartial to that. Now, what I have a problem with if she was out there trying to champion black causes per se, or going out or saying about for women's rights and liberation of women, but yet walking around half nude, yet walking around in a manner as a Muslim would say is kind of foul. Those kind of things. Then no, but she's not doing that, so it's not making her a hypocrite. She's being what she is, and what she's being is an entertainer. People get entertained by that. Obviously, people who are being entertained by it, because we have 7 billion people on the planet, and she's like one of she's the top 10 on Forbes magazine, most influential, iconic figures of the world today. She's in the top 10. I think I think Beyonce was number 1. Now, off of that, we're saying, okay, then that's you. But I'm saying, like, for those kind of things, I know the worth of the female. And the worth of the females, which I will impregnate in the minds of my daughter on a constant daily basis, that you don't have to. You have to carry yourself with pride. If you want to carry yourself and walking around like I don't know, then that's your business. I do know, like, anything that God created of any value, He made it hard to find. Come on, man. So therefore, the woman is meant to show modesty, in my mind. But if a woman was walking around half nude and thinking, that's your business. But I know my daughter can't do that, and certainly my wife can't.
We've got a caller, Spencer, and producer. We're going to find out someone else's views. Who's this online for? Welcome to the show. Hello?
Hello, it's Safrenia again.
Oh, welcome back. Glad to have you back on. Safrenia, if you caught the start of the show, is a Liberian, Afrocentric. Barbara Ali, you weren't here. Have you been listening, Safrenia?
Yeah.
Have you disagreed with anything anyone said?
I think, is it Spencer that was just talking?
Okay, yes, he was, yeah.
I just want to add that it was the Europeans that taught us that being half nude was wrong. That we, particularly in West Africa, women used to walk around half, and they still do walk around half naked, but it's just that the breasts weren't seen as sexualized.
This is a very interesting point.
And it was due to the factors like Christianity, and even that in Europe it's cold, that they covered up. So when they came, they brought their ideas and they forced it on us. So they've sexualized the idea of the human parts of the human body.
So would you want your daughter to be walking around half nude?
In Africa, if I went to my...
No, but no. But would you want your daughter, sister, to be walking around half nude?
I wouldn't mind.
You wouldn't mind? So you walk around half nude?
In Africa, right?
Yeah.
You'd walk around half nude?
Yeah.
But that's your business. That's what I'm saying. That's cool for you. But I know, like me as a man now, if I'm seeing a woman walking around half nude, straight away that's bringing to the mind of my sexuality. Then I'm saying, I could get aroused by that now.
Yeah,
do you
but
know what I mean? Wait. I mean, parliamentary procedure here. I've given you your time to talk, sister. Right? So if I'm saying, me personally, I wouldn't want to be put in that position. I want to look at you and be aroused by your intellectual value, and not by because you got big breasts and batty on you. That's what I want. That's what I want to be aroused by. And like we're speaking now, and I didn't see you, and I say, "Wow, you got such a nice, pure voice," and I've been aroused by your intellect because I'm saying you just sound like you're on point.
Yeah.
And then you come out with, no, let's walk around naked because it's the Europeans that told us not to walk around naked and to cover up through the Christianity or blah blah and all the rest of it. Now I'm saying, ooh, you're kind of losing ratings for me right now, sister. I'm joking. You meant to laugh.
Yeah, but what I would say is that this whole idea of you're sexualizing the breasts in particular, I'm talking about, because in my ethnic group, the bum is sexualized, so they cover that. But the breast in particular, that is because Europeans have, I don't want to say brainwashed, but you've accepted their standard, their...
Not necessarily, because if you used to think like you're saying that, in Islam, the female is covered up. Do you know what I mean? And even if she's going to moderate Islam, that the female is still covered up. She's not wearing provocative clothing.
Okay, let's forget about Europeans, but even all these Abrahamic religions are not native to Africa. We had our own belief systems before Abrahamic religions were spread in Africa.
Powerful point.
Yeah, but the female in before in Africa, she was still covered. She wasn't covered up ridiculous, but she was still covered. And then certain times you do have, like you'd have certain tribes that nudity is just their thing. They just walk around nude. You know what I mean? They're on a different spiritual plane to how we think now, because I'm saying if we see a woman walking around nude now, I know as a man, and any red-blooded man, we're thinking, rah, we're not looking at her like, rah, I want to know your intellectual value here, sister. No, we're looking, rah, I want to get with that. Do you see my girl's shape? And then say on top of that, say you got busted shape as well. If you're a female and your shape ain't too up to point, I don't want to look at that neither.
But it's like, I think you should challenge that idea that you have, because people
Pardon me, I can't hear you. The phone's getting a bit funny.
I think you should challenge the idea that certain body parts are sexual.
Earl,
instead of
can we get Earl into this?
Oh, Brown stepping into the ring.
I know you like to listen, though, but we want to know what you're thinking.
Yeah. It's a powerful point made by Safrina, right?
It is, but in context, I think she's talking about it being in Africa, isn't she?
Yeah.
And not over here. Being half naked, or she certainly wouldn't be showing her breasts. Sorry, my voice is a bit.
That's right.
So she'd be. Safrina?
Safrina.
Yeah.
You're actually talking about being in Africa, aren't you?
Yeah. If I lived here, I would obviously follow their social norms. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah.
Because that's why I was getting a bit confused, and I thought.
Okay. All right, Safrina, Spencer here.
Yeah.
Safrina.
Yeah.
Hello? Can you give me your credit card and tell me the PIN number?
No.
Why wouldn't you do that?
Because you could steal my money.
I could steal your money. So
Yeah.
isn't your the real money of you, who you are inside you, isn't that more important than the money in the bank? Who you are as an individual, isn't that more important? You wouldn't let me know that, would you? You'd cover that up. If you had a suite right now, I had 10 sweets in my hand, and 5 of them were covered up, and 5 of them weren't, and I dropped all 10 on the floor, and you used to pick them up. Which ones would you pick up? You pick up the ones that's got the wrap around it, right?
But this time I disagree, because women are not like sweets at all. Women are not.
They're not like
you can't
sweets,
compare,
but they're
no.
sweeter than sweets. Women are sweeter than sweets.
No, this is just...
Yes, you are sweeter than sweets. I've already said it. Maybe in the air. I said the female is God on earth. The female's God on earth. You know this, right? You must know, for your sister, right? Exactly. So therefore, the female's God on earth.
No, women and men are equal.
So I'm saying, me personally, I would want to worship the woman in a entirety, not as a naked individual.
I wouldn't want to
worship her
worship
as a naked individual. I'm not worshiping for her character and her purity of self. I'm worshiping her because I'm looking at her as a sexual being and a sexual object.
But I wouldn't want to be worshipped. That's the thing.
Safrina,
yeah.
I've got to say, it's a very powerful point. I sometimes make it in reverse when I'm having debates about the niqab and why do women over here wear the niqab, and they, when they come here they should dress like us and embrace our culture. If I went to live in the parts of Africa where people walked around naked, I would still cover, because that's my culture and that's what's right for me. And I think it's important to remember that cultures are different. What is acceptable is different in every place, and even Islam as I understand it, rules based on the irf, on what is known at the time from among the people. So dressing modestly will mean different things in different contexts in different regions, right?
So freedom. Do you believe in a God, a higher being? Do you believe in a higher being?
No.
You don't believe in a God?
No.
What do you believe in?
I don't have
You believe in the universe? You believe in the universe, the powers of the universe, the laws of the universe? You believe in that?
I wouldn't say believe, but I understand.
You understand it.
Yeah.
So anything that's precious is hard to find. Anything that's of value, if you don't believe in God or you don't believe in God, anything of value is hard to find, will make it valuable. That's facts. Gold, diamonds,
But I don't think we should put a value on the body.
Find, so therefore it is valuable.
No, but I wouldn't say
you
we
as a
should
human
value.
being, if you're walking around naked, then you ain't valuing yourself.
I hope Stella Anaxagoro is listening. Stella, if you are listening, 01189 660 382. Pick up that phone and get in touch. She'd have a lot to say about it. We had a fantastic guest a couple of weeks ago, Spencer, Stella Anaxagoro, who we were talking women's rights. Safrina, I think that's a fantastic point. Have you got any other points of contention with Spencer? Because for me, you've clawed one back there.
I just want to say that with Africans, and like you said, if you went to Africa, you would still cover up.
Yeah.
The thing is, that's good, great, but in the past, Europeans have gone to Africa and told us we're primitive. We need to cover up because it's animalistic.
They also told you that you need to pray to this god, and
So for your case, it's different because you wouldn't force the idea that you need to cover up. You would cover up because it's your belief. But it's a touchy subject because in the past, people that look like you have told us.
We've got another caller. Safrina, we'll have to let you go to let another call in. But that was a fantastic point. I thank you for it.
Okay.
Thank you very much indeed. Thank you.
Big up, Safrina. Still my sister.
No, nice one. Yeah,
love you.
Respect. We got a call. Hello, caller. I hope this is Stella Anaxagoro.
No.
Oh.
It's not.
Who is it?
Sorry. It's Sawab again.
Welcome back, Sawab. You're second. You're just as good.
Okay. Better. Now I'm just kidding. I just called real quick because I was really offended by, I don't know who, I can't tell voices apart, but I think it's Spencer.
All black people sound the same. Is that what you're saying?
No.
All right.
I offended you, sister? How did I offend you?
All right. Because, so you're Muslim, correct? Or is that what you said earlier?
Yeah, go on.
Okay. Yeah, no, and I am as well. And I wear hijab, so I am I cover 95% of my body, everything but my
so how did I offend
face
you?
And hands. I just think that, these metaphors that Muslim men use to get women to cover up that, wear a pearl, wear a pearls in a clam, or where candy should be wrapped up, because if you drop your candy on the floor, it'll, that's not the metaphors.
Chat up
that's
lines.
Not what we were commanded to be modest. We're not, women are not pieces of meat. Women are not pearls. Women are not, they're humans too. And men are not animals. You yourself, you can control yourself. You can teach your sons as well as your daughters. You can teach your sons to be modest. You can teach your sons to lower their gaze. It's not, it's not, it takes two to tango. It's not a one-way thing. And as the other caller, I forgot her name, said, it depends where you are in the world, different places. We're all taught different meanings of modesty, but to equate women to candy, it's just ridiculous.
No, it's not ridiculous, sister. It was just me using it as reference to say, like, what one would you eat? So therefore, you say, right, if I could do that with candy, then if I could do that with candy, then what would I do with meat? Wait. What would you do with a human being? What would you do?
I think humans, me and you, obviously, we should not be reduced to a piece of candy or. That's not. This is not why we cover.
Okay, I'm gonna break it down.
And then you're also implying that you're also implying that women that don't wear a hijab are somehow spoiled or rotten or of not good use. That's completely incorrect. Yeah.
No, I didn't say there's no good use. I just know which ones I'd be eating from, which ones I wouldn't be eating from.
Yeah. Okay, well,
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying nothing else in
from
that.
us.
Now, Pete, you can even take your day alone. You're saying like, oh, you're Muslim, you wear the niqab, and you cover like 90% of your body. Then that's a good thing, right? But it's your choice. No one ain't forced you to do it. That's your choice, right? I believe that's your choice. Okay? Yes, no? That's not your choice?
Yeah, that is my choice.
Right. No one ever put a gun to your head and say, you better just dress like this or else you're in trouble. Right. That's your choice because you know that is what your Lord has commanded you to do and that's what you're following. So for that, then I'm high-fiving you right now, sister. I'm giving you a cyber high five through the frequencies right now. Right? That's great. Now I'm saying that the female who doesn't choose to cover, I'm not arguing to say, right, anyone can do it, you want to go do it. I ain't got time to be worried about that. You know what I mean? I'm battling my own personal jihad inside of me for me to go fight anything else anywhere else. I don't care about that. I'm fighting my own one, the El Noor inside of me. That's what I'm fighting right now. So I can't be preaching or getting on corporate to tell anyone to say you go do this or you don't do that or blah. I ain't got time for that. But what I can say, I have my opinion, and my opinion may be not validated to you, but I know for myself or how I'm living and the things that I am attracted in my life, then that's what's right for me.
Yeah, good for you, but I'm just going to say that I think metaphors like that are just unhealthy for women and men.
I actually got that metaphor from Muhammad Ali, who's like my hero. So I mean,
it doesn't. I mean, I respect him, but it doesn't mean he was right in everything. And
but I'm saying I have to. Well, anyone who can sacrifice or give up so much for a set of people, then I'm going to be more inclined to listen to him than most people.
I just one more point, and then I'm going to hang up. But as a Muslim woman, I wear hijab or I cover up because of my understanding of Islam, and I wear it for God. I don't wear it for men. I don't wear it so men can control their desires or so that men can look at me in a certain way. I wear it for Allah only, not for other men. And I know
that's beautiful.
I know for a fact that men, it honestly, it doesn't matter how much you cover up. It doesn't matter. A lot of men, I've still been harassed even though I wear hijab. Even though my sister-in-law wears niqab and she's been assaulted in the street before. Like, it just goes to show it doesn't matter what you wear or how you look. It comes down to the male individual himself. He needs to learn to control himself.
Yeah, but I can guarantee you that it'd be 10 times worse if you walk around half nude. I can guarantee you it'd be 10 times worse if your sister was walking around half.
Yeah, you don't know. I know from the experiences of other women that you can't measure it. You can't measure it like that. I know that there's a sickness among men and women about controlling their gaze and respecting each other that has nothing to do with how little or how much clothes you wear. But anyway, that's just my opinion. And sorry to butt in again.
No, seriously, thank you very much, sister, man. Seriously, you kind of dropped me some knowledge there. I'm still going to be kept on my opinion, though.
Well, thank you very much for your call, for your calls. Thank you. I'm sorry to offend you on radio.
It's okay.
Thank you very much. Well, there you go, Spencer. We like it when you make the phone ring.
Yeah, for real. All I'm saying is this: anything that I believe that God has made precious makes it hard to find.
No, I take both points.
Hard to find.
It was a draw. It was a draw, that one.
No, she had me on the ropes and everything, man.
I know. Wait, the judges. No, look, wow. What can I say? We've debated all kinds of things I thought we wouldn't get. I'd made a ton of notes about Africa and the and who is black and who isn't black, but these conversations go wherever the wind takes them. Barber, you enjoyed it?
Yeah. I mean, Spencer quoted Muhammad Ali there quite a few times, and Muhammad Ali also had an opinion about the nudes in Africa, or the deepest, darkest parts of Africa.
What was he called them? Savages. That's what he called them, and that was on Michael Parks in 1974 after he beat George Foreman for the heavyweight title when he's 34 years old. Yeah. Right?
Yes, right. That's right. I was just about to get to that.
Well, look, okay. I'll tell you. Here you go, Spencer. Spencer, you with me?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, so Muhammad Ali made the comparison to the pearls. We'll take that. And I'm a fan of Muhammad Ali. I agree with most things that he said, but he also said that he found black women more attractive if they had some white heritage in them. Now, do you agree with him on that one?
He said that in 1974,
right,
when he was over in Zaire, when he was getting ready to fight George Foreman. He said, "Oh yeah, they need a little bit of white in them." I know he said that. So, and he said that. So what do you want me to turn around and say about that?
I'm just asking you how you feel about it.
How do I feel about that?
Mm-hmm.
Well, considering I know, like, I'm lighter skinned, so I know somewhere down the lines I've got some European blood in me somewhere, right? You know what I mean? So, how I feel about that? He said it at the time. I could actually understand where he's coming from, even though I don't agree with him. I understand where Muhammad Ali at that time was coming from. But Muhammad Ali said a lot of things. Muhammad Ali at the time...
He did say a lot of things.
But he said a lot of things. Muhammad Ali at the time didn't... In 1974, when he was questioned by Michael Parkinson, he didn't deny the fact that he thought of his teachings then when he was in the Nation of Islam before he converted to conventional Islam and became a Sunni. He said the white man was a devil. So, you know what I mean? And now, you ask him that, would he agree with it now? No, because we constantly evolve.
Absolutely.
So no doubt now, if you used to sit with Muhammad Ali now and say, well, you said, that, he would turn around and say, come on, man, I said that when I was 32 years old. You know what I mean? Now he's close to 70 now. So obviously he'd be totally different.
What year did he make the Pearl comment?
1973. He made the Pearl comment 1974.
Oh, 74. Okay, right. When he fought Fraser.
Because we constantly evolve as human beings.
Absolutely. No, I just thought
right.
I throw that in there.
But seeing as we're speaking about Black History Month should really be. I mean, the person that should be taught more frequently in Black History Month. Seeing as, and even though I don't agree with Black History Month, but the person that should be taught the most is Marcus Garvey.
Okay.
Marcus Garvey kids should be quoting Marcus Garvey daily. White kids, black kids, Asian kids should be quoting Marcus Garvey as a motivational speaker. That man was incredible, and that man awakened black consciousness in the 20s in America. And he was actually a Jamaican who studied at Oxford University, and that's the man for me. As far as I'm concerned on anything, Marcus Garvey was the man. I quote Marcus Garvey regular. My daughter's 8 years old. She can quote Marcus Garvey. Marcus Garvey is a very, very powerful individual. And that's the guy. And I'm sure that Earl Brown will back me up on that, man. Marcus Garvey was the man.
100%, Spencer, definitely.
For someone who can jump out like, our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Come on, you know it.
Yeah.
Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. Come on. It is our light and not our darkness that frightens us the most. Come on, man. We need to wake up and get with this program. That's what we need to get with. You know what I mean? That you have to understand that from when we are born, the fact that we're born, we're 1 in half a billion chance of being on Earth. 1 in half a billion. So it's 20 million to 450 million sperm that fly out, rushing to reach the egg. So by the time we're born, we've already won. Just think of them odds. The odds of us being born, if I was to turn around to Earl Brown right now and quote chronological order of your phone number off of the bat, the odds of that, you have more chance of the odds of me telling you that than you winning the lottery. And of you winning the lottery, it is 13.4 million to 1 chance of you winning the lottery. So for me to go and do that, to quote out, I've got more chance of doing that. So the chance of us being born on this planet, we're 1 in half a billion chance. That's incredible. So therefore, when you look at that, or those odds there, we've won already just by being born. Just by being created, we've won already. So on these kind of things, that is our blessing of being born. We can accomplish anything we want to go do. Marcus Garvey taught me that, man, from a very young age. I must have known that. I knew that speech by Marcus Garvey verbatimly by the time I was 6 years old. Because my dad taught me that.
And a guy from the 1920s is still relevant to you now?
A guy from 1920s is still relevant to me. Jack Johnson, who became the first black heavyweight champion in 1908, is still relevant to me. All of these black figures at that time are relevant for me because at that time, like I was speaking earlier, and Earl Brown would back me up there because we was
it was to the subconscious that we couldn't achieve anything or we couldn't do anything because the people who were the ones that were doing everything were actually people who didn't look like us. Now, when I'm seeing people who look like me that achieve so much, why Muhammad Ali is on this great pedestal. You know what I mean? Reason why? Because he achieved so much and he didn't give a damn and he spoke his mind. Irrespective whether it was right or wrong, certain of the things that he was saying was very, very sexist. Certain of the things that were, at the time, they was very racist. You know what I mean? But for the man to have the gall to get on that time there and give up so much, then you got to give him all the ratings in the world. So any black person at that time, I'm saying, yeah. But we're living in a different world now where we can have white role models. Ain't nothing wrong with that. As a black person, Asian role model.
Barack Obama.
You know what I mean? Right. Oh, you know what I mean? I don't look at Barack Obama as a role model.
Nor do I. I think it's a tragedy.
Exactly. I think it's incredible what he's accomplished, but I don't look at him as no role model.
No.
You know what I mean? He ain't giving up nothing. You got to give up something today before you.
As I say, Obama.
You have to give up something. You ain't give up nothing yet. But I give you all the props in the world because he's made it. People can look on that and think it is possible. Do you know what I mean? That's all. The fact of the possibilities, it is possible. And that, if you can instill that, if I could look at anyone and look on somebody and say, rah, I look at him and he's telling me through his actions or the things that he's done that it is possible. So that means that I can never be down. Every day is a sunny day. Every day. You know what I mean? Because I'm looking at these guys here and they've made it possible. Then obviously I'm doing certain things now and people looking at me and say, rah, you're a role model. I'm not just a role model to black people. Come on, man. I'm a role model to anyone who's a little bit of an underdog or they thought that things couldn't bust a certain way and then they're going to do it. Then if they're going to look at me and say that, then that's great. Remember, I'm in an environment right now with my show that I got at Sky. In an environment where people will look on that and say that, wow, you think that it's a long shot for certain people to accomplish certain things, then it's a massive long shot for me to be doing what I'm doing day in, day out. Do you know what I mean? That is a long shot. It's a long shot. I can walk down the road now. Oh, I love your show, Spence. If you want to embrace you. Or they know me out because you're managing fighters now. Or you got nice, swanky office. And you know what I mean? And I've been blessed by Allah. God's blessed me. But therefore, when these things are happening to me, then I'm saying, right, then it's been possible. So every day I get up, I give thanks. I bow my head 5 times a day. It's so important. You know what I mean? And I never, ever forget the reason why I'm in the position that I'm in right now, as far as I am concerned. Like loads of people say, do you believe in God? I don't believe in God. I know God.
Spencer.
Yes, sir.
You mentioned some great names there in the modern era, or in the last century. You mentioned Muhammad Ali, Jack Johnson.
I think what you're trying to say.
You mentioned Marcus Garvey. And you also talked about being a Muslim. Praying 5 times a day. I think we forgot to mention one individual who broke the barriers of race over 1400 years ago, the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, peace be upon him.
Yeah, listen. Oh man, come on.
We need to enlighten the people. Speeches? Yeah, we need to enlighten the people about what he did and how he broke those barriers of tribalism, race, and all of that stuff. There was no power struggle. For him, everything was about equality. And I'm sure the famous story about how he freed the slave Bilal.
Listen,
yes,
the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said that he could hear Bilal's footsteps in Jannah before his own.
Yeah.
Now that's serious. Do you understand? And he also said that none of you truly believe unless you're willing to give your daughters to Bilal.
Yeah.
Right, so therefore that is it. So on those things, or like to one of his final speeches before his passing, and the Prophet Muhammad said that the Prophet Muhammad said on that time there that there is no difference in color, but there's difference, and there's no difference in sexuality, but by a degree over the man to the woman. But he said that there's no difference. The only difference is in piety.
We're talking equality on every level.
All right, gentlemen.
Right.
I'm going to jump in now.
Yes.
Because in my preparation for this show, I was in touch with Ibrahim Sincere, a poet, spoken word artist. Don't know if you guys are familiar with him. He is Muslim. And he recently wrote an article called The Colorblind Muslim. And in it, he mentions, and I'll read from it, Bilal. Ah, yes, Bilal, the token black guy for usually racist Muslims to prove they aren't racist. They respect Bilal after all. Don't get me wrong, there are two statements I would like to differentiate between. One, there is no racism in the true teachings of Islam, obviously. And two, there is no racism amongst Muslims. So, obviously, the teachings of Islam forbid racism entirely. But how quickly after the Prophet's passing did people in the Muslim lands go back to their old ways?
Spencer, you know, on your Facebook, you've said many times about racism in Islam. And
many times.
You know, you get quite heated about it, and I've read the comments, and I've tried to get involved a few times, but you know, the thread just goes crazy.
Yeah, I know. You have like 5,000 comments and stuff. No,
but I'll tell you,
racism exists in everything.
I wanted to actually talk about this, you know, during the show, but I thought it was a little bit off topic. You know, racism in religion.
We're on it now.
We're on it now.
I've got to go to bed now. I've got to be up early in the morning, man.
We're on it now. So, what are your thoughts on that then? You know, racism in religion.
Listen, every religion, can only be a of a congregation of human beings. You're still going to have humanistic characteristics. You know what I mean? That is it. Period. Mm-hmm. And with humanistic characteristics, you will see color. But I am seeing some young brothers out there where they don't see color. I'm not just talking just Muslims. I'm just seeing like in general being around who do not see color. Now it will be perpetuated more. At that time there, everything was more to do with tribalism. I'm saying that this, and I said this time and time again, yes, racism does exist in Islam. People like to go on like it don't exist. It does. We get very heated. No, it don't, because they're not racist. You go speak to any white person, say, no, man, white people are racist. And because they're not racist, they'll get heated and get upset with you. And they'll cast aspersions and call you racist for calling them, or saying that white people are racist. Not every white person is racist. I'm telling you this now, firsthand. I'm telling you by my own experience, they're not. You know what I mean? And racism is dying out. It's still apparent. It's dying out. But obviously you're going to find racism side of religion more so because, especially Islam, because they like to refer back, and it's very true with the brother out the article by the spoken word I. And it's the truth that racism is apparent. And it is
among the people, not among the teachings, obviously. Yeah. Well,
it's apparent. But that's what I'm trying to say. When you're dealing with real spirituality, man, you ain't seeing no color, man. When you're dealing with real spirituality. But loads of people go on that, like, we like to talk about, we talk about, we're not actually living it. If we know as Muslims that you're meant to love for your brothers, you love for yourself.
How do we solve this problem, Spencer? I mean, what are your opinions on it? How do we solve it? I know it's there.
Solve it?
How do we solve it? Yes.
So easy to solve. All right? It's so easy because I can say, me as a black person, I had my own stereotypes about white people, which over the years, now I'm 40 years old. I know I look good for my age, but I'm 40 years old now. So I'm saying, like, from once you mix with them, do you understand? Then it gets eradicated. You say, right, you're actually just like me. That's kind of crazy. Right, that is it. Once you mix with them, you have to mix. And that's how we get rid of racism. It's quite simple. Get rid of racism. Be in an environment. You know what I mean? I'm in an office right now. There's about 12 of us inside the office. 12 of us on the same floor. I got 2 Jewish people inside the office. I've got one Catholic guy. I've got Greek Orthodox. I've got so many different people.
Sounds like a joke.
Right, I'm telling you. And then a horse walked in, but walked in the pub. Right, and this how you know that people are just people. Do you know what I mean? We like to put up barriers. You know what I mean? Because religion is actually division, because we're saying to ourselves, our one common denominator in all religion is that the devil's always the same. Seriously. Look at all religions, the devil's the same. Our God's different. You've got to worship this way, you've got to worship that way. But why can't we just all unite and just fight the devil?
Well said.
Well said, yeah.
All right.
Fantastic. Barbara's got some text, I think.
We've got
from shy people.
Off-topic text.
Go on then.
But as we're coming to the end of the show, I think we'll let it in. It says, it's an anonymous one again. Ask Spencer what happened with Lennox and Nassim in his gym. It's been years, but he never lets on what happened.
Well, you must have. It has been years. That was about 5 years ago now. I was out to eat myself, Lennox Lewis, and Nassim Hamed, and we were out to eat. And Nassim said that he punched harder than Lennox Lewis because Emmanuel Stewart, who passed 2 years ago now, Emmanuel Stewart, the trainer of both Lennox Lewis and Nassim Hamed, said that Nassim Hamed actually hit harder than Lennox Lewis, and they had a little jokey-fied spar around each other, and it was fun. I've still got the recordings on my phone. What I'm going to do, bro, I'm going to send it to you so you can see it, because like for ages I said, I'm going to lay it off, and it's gone into the archives now, but people are still talking about it up to this day.
No one's seen it.
And yeah, it was fun to be around like two legends like Lennox Lewis and Nassim Hamed, and they're really cool guys.
Could he reach his waist?
Close to Lennox.
Yeah. Some actually, I've got off topic now. We're going to wrap up the show shortly, so I'm just want to talk about some upcoming fights coming up.
Okay.
You've got Hopkins versus Kovalev.
Right. Bernard Hopkins is going to beat Kovalev. I guarantee you on that. Yeah. Kovalev has not met nobody. Bernard Hopkins is 49 years old. A dear friend of mine, and that's not the reason why I'm saying Bernard Hopkins will win the fight. Bernard Hopkins is going to win the fight because he's mentally tougher than Kovalev, and the person to beat Bernard Hopkins is going to be somebody who throw loads of fast shots in and out, a la like when he had trouble with Joe Kawasaki. I was ringside for that fight. I still think Bernard Hopkins won that fight. Someone like Jermaine Taylor. But look what happened in the second fight, and I thought Bernard Hopkins won that. I thought Bernard Hopkins won that fight as well, but even though he didn't get it. But it's going to be somebody who's got that quick twitch fiber. Those Chad Dawson, they kind of all could throw loads of punches. Yeah. Those guys who weight power punches, who's kind of crude as well. Kovalev is very crude, even though he's a dynamic puncher. But Bernard Hopkins now, because he's old, he's earned the right. After making 20 defenses as a middleweight, in Ghanaian history, as the most middleweight defenses, moving up to light heavyweight, and becoming the ring champion there, and just constantly keep on going and becoming the oldest man to win a world title at 48 years old. Bernard Hopkins has earned the right now to win ugly, because he boxes like it's not that appealing. So he's earned the right to box the way that he has. And to win fights ugly, and because of that reason, that is why he will beat Kovalev, because that guy has more tricks than Paul Daniels and Dynamo wrapped together. He will out hustle him. He will hit him on the break. He will do what he has to go and do to win, to fight at a slow, concise pace, and that's why I'm going for Bernard Hopkins to beat Kovalev on points. Yes, Kovalev is a very, very hard puncher. But you don't see Bernard Hopkins get knocked down. The last time Bernard Hopkins was knocked down, we have to go back to 1995. 1995, when he fought a guy called Anton Eccles, who was a ridiculous puncher. Wow. And Bernard Hopkins beat him. It was like first fight was a draw. Then they in the return, Bernard Hopkins beat him. And I would go for Bernard Hopkins to school Kovalev. I don't trust these tough Eastern European guys who are not technically nice. Bernard Hopkins go back to the old days, and we say back to the old days. He's old enough to be in boxing the old days, so he's an old school fighter, and he's still going on now. He's great, and he's also Muslim, so I'm backing him.
Fantastic. Well, he does take a lot of low blows as well for some reason. He
does, but well, you know, sometimes it makes a meal of it because he needs to take wrestling in between rounds. So but next question on boxing. I could talk boxing all day.
What about Pacquiao versus Algieri? What do you think?
I got Pacquiao winning that fight. Algieri's a very good fighter, but he doesn't hit hard enough to keep Pacquiao off. He's a very skilled fighter. We saw that when he fought Pavetnikov, and he was down times against Pavetnikov, but he showed great heart and strength to be getting up. You know, I think it's Les Brown that says when you fall down, make sure you land on your back, because if you look up, you can get up, and that's exactly what Algieri did. Chris Algieri just got up, carried on boxing, carried on moving, very, very good game plans, very good side-to-side movement. But right now, I'm not saying that Pacquiao's looking past it, because there's big talk of Pacquiao Floyd Mayweather, UCMMA, to rival, because there's massive Miguel Cotto, Canelo Alvarez. There's talk about that fight being made. So I think that's where Pacquiao's mind's on, so Pacquiao knows that he has to win and look impressive. And there's no one more suited for Pacquiao than a guy that is a slip boxer but don't hit hard. So Pacquiao can walk through and try to throw them big bombs. And do I think that Pacquiao hits as hard as Pavetnikov? No, Pavetnikov is a vicious puncher, but Pacquiao has that experience, so I'd have to go for Pacquiao about round 8 knockout.
I personally don't think Pacquiao's finished. Me personally, people said he was finished after he got knocked out by Marquez, but I believe he was winning the fight.
He was winning the fight.
Yeah, I mean, it was just one of them things. The way he got knocked out was quite clumsy of him to get knocked out like that. The way his hands were down, and he sort of like got stuck in a position with his feet, and he just got hit with the right hand. But I think he was winning the fight. The other fight I want to ask you is Kell Brook versus Amir Khan. If it happens, that's the last one I want to ask you.
Kell Brook, Amir Khan.
Yeah.
Well, for that, you know what? Kell Brook impressed me a lot when he beat Sean Porter for the IBF welterweight title, becoming the second.
Sean Porter looked terrible that night. Sean Porter was terrible. It's not Sean Porter.
No, he wasn't. But you're saying Sean Porter was terrible. He was terrible because Kell Brook made
Stuck to him like glue.
Yeah, he's awful.
I mean, Kell Brook made him look terrible. And I know Sean Porter pretty well. I've seen him a couple of times when I'm out in the gym as well. His dad Kenny's a real nice guy. But when you see guys start to act to the crowd and start taking out things he wasn't himself in that fight. It's like, you became champion of the world, and then it kind of went to your head a little piece because Sean Porter looked vicious against Paulie Malignaggi. He put fear in everybody's heart, saying, "Boy, this guy's serious." But I would say if that fight was to happen, well, there's allegedly Amir Khan's meant to be fighting Devin Alexander. So I'll have to judge her for that because there's going to be Amir Khan's second fight as a welterweight. How Amir Khan does in that fight, then I'll let you know for the Kell Brook fight. But right now, when you win world titles, it brings you out onto another level, and that's what's happened now with Kell Brook because he won a world title now, and that's going to be buzzing. He's going to be buzzing right now. Amir Khan's hand speed will give anybody in the world trouble because he's got the fastest combinations in the world. Yeah. Anyone, and that's including Floyd Mayweather. He'd give Floyd Mayweather trouble. Because he's that quick. Somebody like Brook is a sharp shooter and a sharp puncher. Yeah. He has that output like what Amir Khan's got.
Khan did struggle
so
against
you have
another.
to kind of favour that. If I get attacked by Kell Brook, then I think that's right in the wolf.
Spencer, do you think Amir Khan would beat Mayweather?
Do I think he'd beat him? No, but I think out of everyone out there right now, he's got the best chance of beating Mayweather because of his style. And Mayweather's a single shot puncher. Yeah. He's not a fast shot puncher. Amir Khan was a guy that will throw 6 and 7s at you. And when someone throws 6 and 7 punch combinations at you, they can steal rounds. And then Mayweather would have to use his pinpoint accuracy to wear down Amir Khan. And if he didn't knock out Amir Khan, then he could be in for a rough ride.
Spencer, last question, a trivial question from the producer. What's all this Frank Maloney nonsense? Did he become a woman or not? Was that
become a woman?
Was that a publicity stunt?
Well, obviously he's done something, right? I've known Frank Maloney for a little while. I don't know this Kelly Maloney you've turned into. I don't know.
You don't know Kelly that well.
I haven't met that person.
She's a pearl from the looks of it.
Well, you can't be a pearl because you still got the jewels, right? So you ain't at the final operation. So I'm saying this: Frank Maloney, when he was Frank Maloney, was not actually the nicest person. I've been on record by saying this. I think you read that on my Facebook as well. He was the nicest person. So maybe him having that sex change has made him become a better person.
Yeah.
Right? Maybe it has. You know what I mean? Am I in agreement or disagreement? I'm saying this. Whatever floats your boat, that's your business. All right? That to me is, I don't know, whatever makes you happy, man. That's the bottom line. If it makes him a nicer person, makes her a nicer person, right? Then do what you want to go do. It's something that I'm not in a rush to go.
Well, she'd be definitely getting in touch with her feminine side.
Yeah.
You think? I don't know how this thing works. You know what I mean? And I'm not at liberty to say I don't know how that works, to say that you're a male, you're a female trapped in a male's body. I don't know how that one works.
Glad we cleared that up anyway.
But if you're happy that way and that makes you a better person, then you go do what you're doing, because you're not really offending anyone if you think about it.
That's
You know
it.
what I mean?
That's
right.
it.
You're not doing nothing that's against the law. You're not doing right. So I'm saying, right, then you do you. That's you. Kill it only you do you, and be happy with being you.
Wow.
Well said.
What about just one more, bro? Just one more, yeah.
Yeah, go on.
Anthony Joshua now.
This has been.
I mean, I'm quite excited about this guy. Do you
Boxing
know what I mean?
History Month.
I'm honestly excited, genuinely. What do you think? Do you think that he can actually, be dominant? I'm not talking about, win a belt and lose. I'm talking about actually be dominant, as they're saying.
I do believe that Anthony Joshua can become a dominant force in the heavyweight division and win titles in the heavyweight division. I really do believe that. I know he's a personal friend. I've got a lot of time for him. In Newton, he'll form all boxing history. He's a really, really cool guy, and his mantra is stay humble. He's a very, very humble guy. He got crossover appeal because he's that way inclined. And like boxing talent, the guy is like a sponge. He just wants to learn. The guy looks like I don't know, man, like the Black Hercules.
Yeah. He's a total package. He's a total package.
He's a total package. Very articulate as well. Very articulate human being, and he's got a good squad around him. So I do really believe, and he is going to be the next big thing. But there's a guy called Dylan White. I don't know, about 5 years ago in the amateurs, 4 years ago.
Who was it?
And Dylan White.
Oh yes, yeah.
And Dylan White's been extremely. He's unbeatable as well. Look out for Dylan White. He's a very good fighter. And with the line, he's that level. In the amateurs, Anthony's gone to a medal in the games. Gone to win for Olympic gold medal. So he's right on cloud right now, and he's continuing doing what he's doing. He's impressive, especially his last fight out. They don't really get knocked out. He just banged the guy right out. Anthony Joshua's the future, man. I really do rate the kid.
All right. Well, this has been Boxing History Month and Black History Month. Yasser wants to say a massive thank you to you for coming on, as do I. I think this has been an excellent show. I've learnt a lot tonight. Yeah. Oh, any closing comments to Spencer?
I've definitely learnt a lot. I mean, I wasn't expected to stay so quiet, but I was quite interested to hear what Spencer had to say, really. I'm glad to be here. Yeah. Sorry I didn't take part in too much of the conversation, but Spencer, you're an interesting man, seriously. When I see you, I'll have to come over and shake your hand.
No, man, big up, man. No, listen, man, like I said, it's all love, man. It's all love, and when you got to realize, like, our blessings that we're born, we can accomplish or do anything we want to go do. So the mere fact that I'm speaking to you right now, Mr. Brown, is a great honor. It was a great honor to on a show, because for ages brothers have been trying to get me on this show for about, I don't know, a year, 2, I don't even know how long. It's been ages. Every time I get messages, oh, come on the show. Yeah. You know I'm busy, man. You see what I'm doing. You read my statuses. Yeah. But it has been a fantastic honor. I'm going to cuddle up my wife now. I got an early start tomorrow morning. So assalamu alaikum to all the Muslims. Peace and blessings to all the non-Muslims and Christians. And I say this in closing, that, anyone, you can accomplish anything you want to go do, man. You got to visualize to materialize. Peace, 2 fingers. I am Spencer Fearon. Tune in to Toe to Toe. You know what I mean? Tune in to Toe to Toe, Ringside Toe to Toe, which is the best boxing podcast, and it's also on Sky On Demand and on Sky website.
I will do. Honor speaking to you.
Fantastic. Thank you very much.
Wow. Okay.
There goes Spencer. Barbara Ali.
Yes.
What a show. The first bit was the best bit, but anyway.
Oh, did I miss that, did I? I was actually listening.
Went downhill.
I always went downhill as soon as I came, yeah?
No, it was brilliant.
Black History Month,
boxing, you name it.
Wow.
What women should wear.
We could talk about anything.
We've proven that.
We could talk about anything.
But we probably shouldn't. Yeah. Well, it's that time for announcements.
There's no local announcements going on. I don't know. I'm not too good with announcements. Strength challenge. Oh, the strength challenge. Oh, yes. The bench press, raw bench press challenge. Reading.
All right, Bob. We know.
We had 23 entries. Yeah. December 7th. It's all coming together. So, I mean, we're going to start pushing more promos and stuff like that. I mean, 4 weeks out. So, but all the lifters and all that getting prepared. So, it's going to be another good one. It'd be nice to get all the community together and all that, and hand out medals and trophies to all the local boys. I think it'd be good for the community. So,
have we flyed some of the local gyms in the area?
Yes. Okay. I've approached all the local gyms and stuff like that. So, we're going to keep this one local. But the next one, I've made a decision to make it open because, we don't want to just limit it just to Reading. And the boys who are serious in Reading are already entering, so we know who the serious ones are. So they'll get challenges from out of town and stuff like that. So yeah, it'd be great. It'd be great.
I might even enter it myself.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Well, I'm gonna set up a deadlift competition in February, and I'm looking to enter that myself.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm not into weights, to be fair.
All right.
I'm good in
Yeah. I always enjoyed lifting weights, but I didn't before. But since February of this year, I've started more heavy, intensive weightlifting.
Okay.
Yeah, man.
And I just want to hear him say it one more time. How can we? Where are we on Facebook, Baba?
Find us on Facebook on One Ummah FM.
Well done. Short and sweet. Yes. All right. Well, this has been another Let Me Tell You Sunday. I've enjoyed it. Earl Brown, thank you so much for coming down. Spencer Fearon, thank you for joining us.
Yep. Big respect to Spencer for giving his time. We know he's a busy man.
Lovely guy.
And very insightful.
And thanks to all the callers, both racist and non-racist.
Yeah, excellent callers.
It makes for a good show when we have a mix of. There were a few questionable
and the
opinions and the shy people on the text. Thank you very much for supporting and getting involved. And Marshall, thank you very much for getting in touch. I'll see you tomorrow on the mat. Go easy on me. Barbara, it's over to you.
Okay, so from myself, Barbara Ali, Julian,
and Earl Brown,
and the producer Yasser Ali, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.